Anything is possible. It started with a dream. Our passion made a difference and built a family.
Hi everybody, it's Cindy here with Stampin' Chick Creations. Just want to give you your Mystery Monday for this week. So I did post the measurements on my VIP page and on my VIP group and on my page. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope that you enjoy this video, and I do try to do a video every Monday. So I hope that you'll enjoy this video. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of Ontario, Canada, and I've been a demonstrator for 16 years. I love it. It's definitely my passion, and I can't imagine my life without it. So I hope you guys actually get a lot of enjoyment out of this video, and you guys enjoy it as well. Yeah, so let's get started, and we'll get going with this live. All right, so here we go. I gave you all the bits and pieces measurements on my page, so I'm not going to go through those again. You guys can go back to my Facebook page and find that information if you'd like. Or you can stop the video and rewind this. So I did do a little bit of pre-work on this as far as the embossing, only just because my embossing machine is off camera, so just to be a little bit easier is what I did. So I did pre-emboss my white paper, and I used the honeycomb embossing folder. I'm going to put this down a little bit so hopefully you guys can see it a little bit better. The honeycomb embossing folder, which is a really, really awesome embossing folder. And then I have my single white piece, which will be the inside. And then I have my 2 pieces of Designer Series paper, and of course I'm using the Cottage Rose paper for this one. And then I have my Old Olive, my white, and then this is my what color is this one? Crushed Curry. I need a pair of scissors, so just let me slide on over here. All right, so let's get started. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to glue my embossed piece here. So one of those white pieces of paper that I told you that you needed to have is going to be embossed with whatever embossing folder you like, preferably one that will coordinate with the stamp set that you're using. So again, go ahead and do that. If you want to pause the video at this point to do that, you can definitely do that. That's the joy of having a video as opposed to me being live. You won't fall behind. And then you're going to take your 2 pieces of Designer Series paper, and if you can get your glue to work, which sometimes I don't have the best of luck with. There we go. And we're going to adhere one of these. Oh, shoot. I just realized I cut this the wrong size. So did I tell you 4 1/4? This should actually be the same size as your white, width-wise. It should not be 4 1/4. So I will correct that before I post the measurements. So this is actually going to be 4 inches. 4 inches. So 1 inch by 4. And then you're going to put the next one about there. I could have probably moved this one up a little bit more. If I was smart, I would have just cut this off before I... There. Oopsies. Okay. I'll have to fix my other ones. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Now your smaller piece of solid cardstock you're going to put here. But this piece here, so this little teeny weeny piece, it should be... it should actually go this way. Now, this is going to be bigger than what we need. Now, if you have a flag punch, you can go ahead and use that right now. Or if you don't, when mine is in the cupboard, you're just going to take your scissors, find about the halfway point. You're going to come up with your scissors, and then you're going to go on a diagonal up to that point, and then onto a diagonal up to that point. And this is what we call faux flagging, or flagging. Get that off. There we go. Okay. Now, this is actually going to glue on the bottom of this. So this is what this is going to kind of look like. Now, if you want to emboss this piece here, you can. I'm not going to, but so again, this piece is way bigger than what we need. So if you want to trim it down, you absolutely can do that. And I'm just going to trim that a little bit there. Okay, so I'm going to glue this here glue this here, glue this here. And then I'm going to take this. Can you see this? Okay. And up a little bit more, like there. Okay. Maybe should have moved that. Oh well. Anyway, this is my copy. Okay, so this is what we have so far. This is a little bit off, but anyway. Okay, and then I have my white piece. So I'm actually going to use Honeybee Home stamp set, and I'm going to actually do something different than I would normally do. I'm going to use my Old Olive marker, and I'm going to take my Crushed Curry marker. Okay, now these are our Stampin' Right markers. These are not blends. Okay, please do not do this with your blends. This needs to be done, if you're going to do this technique, it needs to be done with your Stampin' Right markers. If you use your blends, it will ruin your stamp set because our blends are alcohol based. These are water based. Sorry, these are water based. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use my Memento Black and I'm going to ink up my stamp like I normally would. Nothing is, no, shoot. No, that's actually not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use my black. I am so sorry. I feel like I'm coming down with a cold and my brain is very, very foggy right now. So if you think I'm not as quirky as I normally am, you are correct, my friends. Okay, sorry, my mistake. You're probably thinking, she's really off today. Yeah, I am really off today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now this is nice and wet. So I'm going to let that dry for a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Stampin' Right marker. This is what I'm going to do. And again, you cannot do this with your blends. So please do not try this with your blends. It will ruin your stamp set. So I'm just going my marker directly onto my stamp. So I'm just using the Old Olive on the stem. Okay. And I am going to go over a couple times just to make sure that the ink actually is nicely applied on there. And then I'm going to come in with my Crushed Curry. And if you're not familiar with our Stampin' Right markers, these are awesome. They're similar to the blends in the sense that there's two tips on them. There's a paintbrush tip and there's a chisel tip. Okay, so I'm just directly coloring right onto my stamp. Now, I can actually mix colors if I really want to. I'm not going to get into that. But this is a great way if you want to add a color to a certain part of your image. So what I like to do is I'm just huffing onto my stamp just to set it, and then I'm just going to push straight down. And then I end up with something like that. So you can see here that now I have two colors. I have my Crushed Curry and I have my Old Olive. Okay, so you might see that where part of a stamp is one color and part of it's another, and you're wondering, oh my gosh, how in the heck did they do that? Well, that's how they do it. They use their Stampin' Right markers and they color directly onto their stamp. Very, very old technique, and one I really forget to do quite often, but it's also a very fun one. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to glue this down onto my Old Olive like this. I hope yeah, okay. Okay, and there we go. And then I'm just going to glue my inside. All right. So this is my inside. Now, of course, I could have done the same thing to the inside, or something similar if I wanted. All right, so there we go. That is your first card done. First card done. All right, now let's get into our second card. Your second card, I'm actually using Nature's Print with Old Olive. No, oh my gosh, with Night of Navy. Must really be coming down with something because my brain is very, very fuzzy. And I did use the coordinating embossing folder, which is the leaf embossing folder, which is very, very beautiful. So it's not as defined as the honeycombs is, but that's going to go about there. So I want to make sure that's okay. I do have to cut down my I have to cut down my designer series paper because I originally thought it was 4 1/4 and it's 4. So I'm just going to trim that down to 4. Trim this one down to 4. There you go. And I'll just put this over here because I'm going to need it for my next card as well. All right, so this one is a Sun Prince paper. So again, I'm going to put my navy there, and then I'm going to put my stripes here. And again, depending on where you want to space these out to, it's totally up to you. And then I have my gray, which will be my flag, and then my Knight of Navy there. Okay, what am I doing? So let's go ahead and glue these down. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to flag my gray piece. Again, knowing that my flag is much bigger than what I need. I really like to punch for this, and then it's always even. So I can go ahead and put this down here and then put my blue. And then that way I can decide how much gray I'm going to actually see. So I think I'll do that this time because the other way I did it was kind of awkward. So I'm going to put that about here. So really I'm just lining it up with my paper. I'm going to do my Knight of Navy. I love this card because it's a great way to use up your scraps. Not just your designer series paper, but also with your solid cardstocks, right? Because we all have little bits and pieces of design or solid cardstock that we're not really sure what to do with. And then we're going to put that there. And for this one, I love this stamp set. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I'm going to use this big one, I think. And it's going to go off the paper, but that's okay. And you know what? I'm not going to use Knight of Navy on this because my Knight of Navy ink pad is very dry. So you've heard me say that I could use Starry Sky in its replacement. So that's what I'm going to do. Starry Sky and Knight of Navy I find are very, very interchangeable. And this is a, excuse me, a defined stamp set, so it looks kind of 3D-ish. And I'm just going to actually kind of put this here. And there we go. I'm just going to wipe that off. Okay. So you'll notice I'm not putting any sentiments on these, and I mean you absolutely 100% can. I'm just not to keep the card very, very simple this time around. Okay, so here we go. That's going to go there. Wow, pretty. And again, I'm not popping things up here, but you absolutely can. Totally your card. I feel like this is crooked. I don't think it is, but I just feel like it is. Okay. And I do have an inside for this as well. I have some glue all over my desk, which I could have avoided that by using my silicone mat. Okay. And And there's my second card. This one's really pretty. Okay, so we have 2 cards done. Let's do our third card together. Oops, this piece is like, I got stuff flying over here. Okay, so this is a color I don't use very often. Pear Pizzazz. So again, as you guys would know if you follow me, I keep all of my pre-cut cardstock is in a bin beside me here. It's actually in a trolley. I've just moved it. And so I have my this size going in the one spot, and then I have my 4 1/4 by 11 in front of it. So it's great for just grabbing cardstock when I need to make a card. So for this one, I am using the bricks, which is another one of my very favorite stamp or embossing folders. One I kind of forget we have sometimes. And I am going to use, oh shoot, I forgot to cut these down. I have to cut these down because I cut mine to the wrong size. Oops, daisies. Okay, let's see here. There we go. All right, so I am going to put this, always checking to make sure your paper is opening the right way, your base. I have this awful feeling one of these days I'm going to glue the wrong way because it's been a while since I've done that. So I'm going to put those about there. Okay. So this is the tea, cup of tea, sweet. Come on, my finger. Cup of tea sweet, which I love. Love this paper. Love the sweet. It's one of those sweets I really didn't expect to enjoy as much as I'm enjoying, to be quite honest, if that makes any sense. I am using Real Red for this, but you could use Poppy Parade or Sweet Sorbet. Sweet Sorbet is a very, very nice color. It's kind of a compromise between a Real Red and a Cherry Cobbler. It's not Poppy Parade, which is kind of like a washed out red, I would say, but it's not a vibrant red either. So, and again, if you want to emboss this piece, you can. I'm not here to tell you what you must do to your card. Your card, you can do whatever you want. Okay, Pear Pizzazz. Okay, so I like this layout because I think it's just a fun way of using up your scraps. Not a lot of cutting. We all have like these little size papers that we don't know what to do with. So I think that it's a fun way to use those up, as well as your designer series paper. Because we all have strips like this in our designer series paper. Don't tell me differently, because I know you do. All right, so then I'm going to see if the teacup will fit here. I'm not sure it will. Oh, yes, it will. Okay, and then I'm going to use these flowers, because I really like these flowers with the teacup. Sorry, you can't even see what the heck I'm doing. How cute is this? Okay, I'm going to be brave. This is a 2-step stamping. If I was really, really brave, I would bring in my Stamparatus to do this, which I should probably do that. Should I do that? Yes, I should do that. Okay. Stamparatus is a tool that I love, but I always forget to use it. Because it's one of those things that we always, like, we have it, but we forget that we have it. So, let's bring in our Stamparatus here. So what is a Stamparatus? It's a positioning tool that Stampin' Up! Has. Now, if you're using a clear stamp set like this, like a photopolymer, you need to put the foam mat underneath. If you're using our red rubber stamps, then you do not need to, because there's already that cushion there for you. And it comes with this great magnet. I'm just kind of positioning these so I can kind of see how much room I have to play with. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I'm going to do this. Oh, sorry, can you even see what I'm doing? Okay, so I'm going to put that one there. I'm going to actually take the second plate So this is great if you're mass producing cards. So let me do my teacup first. So if I was doing multiples of this, this is a really great thing. Always put your stamp set underneath the door. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp this. I was going to stamp this in black, but I think I want my teacup. I think I'm going to do it in Sweet Sorbet, just to give it a little bit of color. I know my little piece here is in red, but I'm going to do this one in Sweet Sorbet. I want you to see how beautiful this color is. Okay, Sweet Sorbet. So then I'm going to bring this down. I've got this positioned. Do I have this positioned? Move it over just a hair. There, that's better. Okay, so here's my teacup. I'm just pushing down. Now, if this did not stamp how I wanted, sometimes you get it where part of it doesn't stamp. That's okay. I would just re-ink, and then I would put this down again and redo. Okay, so if it's not as deep as you want, the coloring's not right, you missed a spot, this is where the repositioning tool comes in really, really handy. You can do hinge stamping, you can do circle stamping, lots of really, really amazing things you can do with this. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move my magnet down, and I'm going to put my flowers right where I want them to go, which is actually going to be a little bit off centered, but that's fine. I'm going to push that down and lift that up. And now these ones I'm going to actually stamp in black because I'm going to color these. Okay. I don't have to do these in black. I can do these in whatever color I wanted, but for this one I'm going to do it in black. I have my stamp set. Sorry, I'm just trying to make some room here. My stamp set underneath the door. I have this already lined up to exactly where I want it to go. So now if I push, it's lined up perfectly. Okay. And if I was doing lots of these, what I would probably do is outline where I wanted my paper to go. And then I would just line up my paper and just keep going back and forth. Bam, 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 right? And it's a great way to do many, many versions of your cards. So Christmas cards is a great one, right? So if you're doing a lot of Christmas cards this year and you want to make sure they're perfect and identical and all that great stuff, then your positioning tool is what you want, okay? Because it will help you achieve that without stressing you out, because there's nothing more frustrating than when something moves on you or they don't line up or whatever. So I'm going to put this out of the way now, and I'm going to bring this in, and I'm actually going to use Tahitian Tide for these, and I'm going to use just kind of a variety of ones here. Okay. And this will just give it some color, not I could add whatever color I want in here, but I'm just very quickly doing this. And I'm just going back and forth between the light and the dark. But again, depending on what you're doing, you might want to make these multiple colors. I think I got them all. Did I miss any? Okay, so now if I wanted to, I could take my Tahitian Tide and color these in as well. Like that. Sorry, did I say Tahitian Tide? Oh my gosh. This is Sweet Sorbet. We should probably really have a contest to see how many mistakes I make in one video. And that should be the prize. How many bloopers has Cindy said in one video? I think that would be kind of funnier, don't you think? Or how many things did Cindy mess up on her card? Think of all the possibilities. All right, so there we go. Is this going to be my favorite one? I don't know. But let's just put it together and see what we come up with. So, yeah, if you love the fact that you don't have to worry about things moving, honestly, the positioning tool is your best friend. So, because I just put that down wet, I'm going to put this here. Okay, and there's that one. So, not my favorite one, this one. Oh, I have to put the inside of my card in too as well. Okay, here we go. Okay, so 3 totally different takes on this card. It's kind of dry there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I honestly think 2 is my favorite, then 1, and then 3. So be sure to post your video on these cards, and I will select a winner from those that post your video to show me what you did. Okay, so thank you for joining me. I hope you're enjoying it. And we will talk to you guys soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Anything is possible. It started with a dream. Our passion made